absence of our chair, I'll call the meeting to order. Ask for a roll call.
Zobrist.
Here.
Farrell. Keach. Neff.
Here.
Fick.
Here.
Ritterbush.
Here.
Smock.
Here.
Wesley. DeWeese.
Here.
First item on tonight's agenda would be to appoint an acting chairperson for this meeting.
I'd like to make a motion that we appoint Gerald Ritterbush to handle our meeting tonight.
Second.
Neff.
Yes.
Fick.
Yes.
Ritterbush.
Yes.
Smock.
Yes.
DeWeese.
Yes.
Zobrist.
Yes.
Slide over one seat here.
The next order of business is the approval of the minutes of our last meeting, which was September 24th. Do any of the commission members have any comments or corrections or changes to the minutes? Hearing none, I ask for a motion that the minutes of the last meeting be approved.
I move to approve.
Is there a second?
I second.
Motion made and second that the minutes of the last meeting be approved as written. You want to call the vote?
A voice roll. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same.
The next agenda item is the section on public hearings. I'd ask the attorney to give us a little rundown on how the public hearing process works.
Thank you. Public hearing is being held tonight pursuant to published notice. Any person wishing to make a comment to the Plan Commission will be afforded an opportunity to do so and will give their testimony under oath or affirmation. Any person living within 250 feet of the property at issue wishing to cross-examine a testifying witness will be afforded an opportunity to do so at the discretion of our acting chair on matters germane to the issues before the Plan Commission. No member of the public may address a commission or cross-examine the applicant until recognized by our chair. At the conclusion of the hearing, the Plan Commission will make a recommendation to the Village Board. The Plan Commission makes recommendations only. The Village Board is responsible for taking final action on these matters.
Thank you. The first petition this evening is petition number 18-09 SP. Subject property is located at 138 and 140 South Main Street, Zone B2. Requested special use permit will allow for mixed use. Is there anyone here for this petition that would like to speak to the commission tonight? Yes. Would you come forward and be sworn in by the clerk?
Raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you. Up there and state your name.
Please state your name and address for the benefit of the commission.
Sure. My name's William Derek Grimm, and I live at 1026 East Forestwood in Morton.
Okay. Would you like to explain the project that you are presenting?
Yes. Well, this is 140 South Main right here. This is 138, and it's existing retail space where my wife and I own a business. We would like to build 3 residential units above it. An apartment here on the south side, on the south side, apartment on the north side, and then a larger apartment on the 3rd floor.
Okay. Do any of the commission members have any questions for the petitioner?
I was just kind of wondering what the timeline on construction would be if it were approved.
Now that all of the architecture and plans are finalized, we hope to begin next spring.
And for mixed-use zoning, there are parking allowances, I think, for that. Those are being met. Are those in the back?
There's, yeah, there'll be 3 spaces required, and they'll provide that.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Are there any members of the public here tonight that would like to make a comment? Hearing none, I'll ask that be a motion to approve this petition.
I'll make a motion to approve petition number 1809.
Motion is made. Is there a second to the motion?
I'll second it.
Motion made and second that we approve petition number 18-09. Would you call the roll, please?
Net,
Yes.
Fix,
Yes.
Ritterbusch,
Yes.
Smock,
Yes?
DeWeese,
Yes.
Zobrist,
Yes.
approved.
Thank you very much for your presentation. Appreciate it very much.
That'll be neat.
The next petition is number 18-10 SP. Subject property is located at 4001 West Jackson Street, Zone I-2. Request is for a special use permit, will allow for open air storage, automobile sales, and the display of new or used automobiles. Is there someone here that would like to speak to this tonight? Yes. Yeah. Would you be sworn in by the clerk?
Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you. Up there and state your name.
Would you state your name and address for the benefit of the commission?
Daniel J. Neep, 800 North Oklahoma, Morton.
Okay, would you like to give us some comments on the plans you're proposing?
The property is zoned industrial right now, and we're asking for a special use for outdoor storage and and sales. So there would be a fence on the south from the edge of the building to the east property line, and then from the east property line north to the edge of to the end of the property line. There was some confusion on what the actual fencing rules were for industrial. So this part and the back part would be not put in. We thought it had to be, and it was not necessary.
Okay, so this drawing in actuality will be changed to eliminate that part that's going kind of at the diagonal and then the back portion.
So it'll be an L from the building to the property line, and then directly north to the most northerly point.
Okay, thank you. Do any of the commission members have any questions or comments?
Just a point of clarification for the commission. Dan's summary of the fencing requirements is correct. It's required where the industrial property abuts residential to the north and west or other industrial uses, which is why the modifications to the proposed fence line are permissible under your code.
Okay, thank you.
Is it going to be a chain link fence or a
It'd be
slabs
wood with
or-
steel on the outside, so you wouldn't see through it.
And the display area outside of the fence, is that where the automobiles will be stored?
Actually, it's campers and
Oh, okay,
potential
campers.
automobiles, but I think the variant says auto sales or.
Okay.
Any other comments?
Yeah, are there other improvements to the property that are being planned besides the fencing?
Trying to clean up the front area. There's a significant amount of potholes in the drive, and I was discussing that with the land or the business or the building owner today. And I know there's a little technique to fill in a pothole. It's just don't throw the stuff in there. So I wanted to do it right,
Uh-huh.
cleaning it up. And
Thanks.
the gentleman across the street called me, and he's in Morton, not in the East Prairie one, and he was all excited about getting some fresh action going there.
Roger, I have a question for you. What about setback for display of vehicles and things? Is there a setback special because this is state route?
There is, our ordinance actually requires, and that number that you see there, that 70 foot, that's how it's specified in our outdoor storage ordinance. It's 70 foot from the,
That's for the fence. The setback for the fence is
Right.
70. feet from the right-of-way.
Right.
But the display area
Oh,
can be,
yeah, that would be, it could be much closer than that. It could actually be 25 foot from the property line.
okay.
Yeah.
So there is a setback for the vehicles then from the property line, or which is, it's really a state
State route,
150
Right. Mhm.
right-of-way. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure well, I guess your drawing isn't exactly the scale there, that you got, what, 20 feet for the display area by 100? Is that what you're planning for the display area?
Correct.
Okay, so there'll be plenty of setback then
Right.
from the road. Okay. Any other questions from the commission?
Yeah, I have a question for Roger. So the area residents are notified. Were there any concerns expressed?
There's a couple here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, if nothing more from the commission, I'll ask if there are any from the public that would like to comment and raise a question. Okay, would you step forward and be sworn in so we get your testimony?
Raise your right hand, please.
Keith Kohler?
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Sure.
Thank you.
Would you state your name and address for the benefit of the commission?
Yeah, my name is Keith Kohler. I live at 105 Sycamore. So I think what you see here, this is Paul. He's my neighbor. His property is right up in here. I sit back behind him. That fence line you're showing, if you go to the edge of the property, that can't really be right because there's a huge gully there that comes up the backside. And that property line, if you look at my property, I own about 3/4 of the way up on the gully, right? So really the property line, I believe, sits, if you went straight out with it that way, it's not gonna go because you're in the gully, right? So it probably is gonna have to be forward of where that hole is, where the property is. Probably gonna have to back off about 10 foot, at least on that, to go across the back of it. So with the fence line, so.
Through the, if you look at a picture, you can't really see that.
Yeah.
Until you get in there and clean it up.
Yeah. And that's, so a couple other questions I have is, so I've lived there for 15 years. I've had issues with those businesses back there. So we have had issues with garbage, the other business was there. They wouldn't clean up their garbage and it would get thrown back or blow back on our property a lot. And then another time we had issues, they started clearing out a bunch of trees in the property you're gonna be renting. And I came home and they were throwing all those trees down into the gully. I own that gully. Well, they didn't even ask me if they could do that, right? I had to come over and stop them because it wasn't on the property line. So, I have concerns like that. But I guess my question would be, so I see you have a car business down here maybe? So what are your hours would be on this, your hours of operation?
They would be 1 to 5.
Okay.
Possibly 8 to 5.
Okay. So,
If we could, I'm sorry to interrupt you. And Dan, I know I directed you kind of to sit down, but if you wouldn't mind standing up by this gentleman, it helps get your answers on our microphone so we have a good record of the proceeding. Thank you.
It would be 8 to 5 at the most, but it would probably be 8 to 1 or 1 to 5.
okay. Yeah, that's what, so sometimes they'd sell vehicles there and a lot of times there's a bar on the other side there. You'll have people come around in the middle of the night, 1 or 2 in the morning, slamming doors, looking at vehicles and stuff. And hopefully if you got a fence there, that would stop them.
Yeah, the fence should actually alleviate
Exactly.
everything you were just discussing.
Yep, so.
Keep things in and not getting out.
Yeah. And
Keep people out.
we have semis come back behind there and park too and let them run, so. And I guess, do you store the RVs or are you actually selling those RVs?
We'll sell them.
Okay, so those are for sale, okay. And then, also, it said in there you're gonna be selling cars, so you're gonna try to find some room because there's not a lot
That would
of-
just be, I didn't want to do some, the cars are going to be on Detroit here. But
Okay.
if I ever had one out there, I didn't want
To
to
move or you're working
I
on
didn't
it?
want to be in non-compliance, but I didn't say I was going to have a car for
Okay,
sale.
fine. And then also too, you're gonna have a dumpster there, right, for outside to throw all your garbage again,
I have a dumpster in town, so
okay,
it wouldn't be.
as long as we don't have garbage stacking up, or, and that's some of Paul's concern with the.
No,
property,
that's
too.
not gonna be a problem.
Okay, that's all I have to say.
And there's no fence today, correct?
No,
Correct.
no. All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other comment? Yes, Paul?
Do you solemnly swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Yes, sir. Thank you.
Would you state your name and address for us, please?
Yes, my name is Paul Cohn. I live at 103 Sycamore, and also I'm going to be owning very soon the 101 Sycamore. That is the open lot right there. So my lot is going to be right parallel with that. And my concern was right now I can see all the trailers, which I know that's going to, I can handle that because of the business before. But my question would be, first of all, how I have bushes, big like trees right on the line. So is the fence going to be right up against it, or is there a variance? I mean, setback for the fence?
Well, it can be on the line, but
Okay.
that's up to Dan if he can
Okay.
make it work with you.
Well, that's what I didn't have that there, and I put them there, and right on the line there, so I wouldn't have to see the other business because they didn't keep it very well. In fact, I had to mow most of the time. I mowed it because all the weeds were coming in my lot and stuff. Now I also I'm going to be owning I'm in the middle of purchasing the open lot right next to that too. So I think the fence coming like where my last tree, or
It's in line with the building if you look. It's actually
Okay.
set back from the building.
okay. And I was wondering how, because I've always planned on if I ever got that lot, because they just got it out of court, and the family did, so I'm purchasing it, and I was going to finish running the trees all along there. So I just didn't know how they affect my trees that I planted there 4 years ago. I bought the property 4 years ago, and and you can see that's the driveway. There's not a driveway coming across anymore. That's cut off, and so I have a building there. It's a Morton building, but I just wanted to know. And I guess my other concern was it's going to be one of those metal like. I used to work on the south end as a glass company, and there's a lot of storage places. They had the metal things, and after a while they get rusty and they get tore up. Now I'm planning on being there for the rest of my life. That's our plan. So I just want to know, if you don't stay there, and the fence is going to be there, how rusty it's going to get. And I was just worried. I was worried about the fence, and then. Yeah, so so they're down in south end, but I just worked on it. That was my concern about how it would look. I'd rather have but I that's up to you guys. But that was one of my concerns, the setback and all that stuff. And then my thing is, the weeds, will you keep the weeds and all that clean? That's my concern, because I've been fighting that like crazy and stuff. And I don't have any objections, except there's not much I can do about it. I just was wondering about these things, because it affects my lot big time, because I'm the only really the residential. Keith has a gully, trees behind. I don't have nothing except my little trees and stuff like that, and I was concerned about that. So that was my concerns. You got any? I don't know if you.
Oh. My best to be a good neighbor.
Okay, I'll try to be too. I try to be too. So, okay. And I think that was it. What Keith? I think, yeah. All right. Thanks.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Are there any other questions from the commission after this discussion?
Yeah, I was wondering if the pins are located, or if there's a survey that, is that property boundary, you're sure where it's at?
Well, we found a pin by a telephone pole that's in his back. Well, I guess probably between their two.
Yeah,
Right.
Then
there's a.
Right-of-way marker out.
Yeah. Now, the funny part, I measured from the pin on that lot that I'm buying. The pin there was supposed to be 292 feet, I think, on the plot, and I went and measured there's this concrete pin there too, and it's only 291, so I'm not going to fight over it. I'm not worried about that. I just measured. I was about that. So, yeah, there's a pin there, so.
And like I said, the pin from my property on the other side is down in the gully about 3/4 of the way up. I did put a pipe and stuff on it, so, you know, as long as you go out from that on top of the gully, you should be okay, so.
Okay. Any other questions, comments? If not, is there a motion to approve the special use permit?
I'd make a motion to approve.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion made, second. Any other discussion? If not, would you call the vote?
Fick,
Yes.
Ritterbusch,
Yes.
Smock,
Yes.
Zobrist,
Yes.
Deweese,
Yes.
Net.
Yes.
Approved.
Okay, that concludes our public hearings for this evening. Next order of business, we don't have any other business listed. Is there any from the commission? Not? Roger, do you have anything for us tonight?
Nothing tonight?
Okay. Next order of business is a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion approved.